Hey, what's up? This your girl, Say the Star on WSWT Internet Radio. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support. Got a special guest in the building. But before I introduce this king, I would like to tell everybody to go to the website at www.wswt Internet Radio. Don't forget to subscribe to the station. Also, anybody that's looking to do movies, that's looking to do commercials, whatever it may be, please have them to email me at sadiewalker1127@gmail.com. And so we can get it in, y'all. It's going down. I'm opening up doors for entrepreneurs, for our community, so our community can grow, because we are so behind on so many different levels. And it's time for us to rise up and do our thing. And I'm really big on building a community, building up our black community to where it's supposed to be. God chose me for this moment and this time, and I'm here to open up them doors for everybody. So without further ado, got a special guest in the building, y'all. He got a powerful testimony that's going to really help a lot of our young men out here, and a lot of our young women too. This helps to build us up and just to put us on the right path. So without further ado, I got Mr. Samuel in the building, y'all.
What's up?
What's up, baby? What's up? So, I know I met you at the celebrity basketball game,
Yeah, the pop-up
which
show,
was
yeah.
yes, which was awesome. When I first met you, I was like, wow. I was looking at your clothes, and your clothes was so unique, and the name is very unique as well. And I know right then and there, when me and you first started talking, I knew that we connected some type of way, and I knew that you had a wonderful story to tell the people. So I'm like, listen, come on my station so I could interview you, so people could know who you are, push your name out there, because you the bomb.com.
I appreciate
That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Give your flowers while you're still here. So
Thank you.
I want you to introduce yourself to the world and let people know what you got going on.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you for this opportunity. My name is Samuel Cravens. I got a clothing brand called Enticing. Enticing is phonetic for the actual word enticing. I just spelled it the way it sounds. Basically, my journey began, I tell people, my journey began when I was in high school. And I was a freshman in high school. I think it was the first day of school. And a teacher, he was a Caucasian teacher, and he had asked the class a question: what was the capital of North Dakota? And he did it in a sarcastic way. He said, I'm pretty sure none of you guys know what the answer is.
Right.
But I knew the answer was. So I raised my hand. I said, Bismarck. He looked at me with surprise. He's like, that's right. Wow. So when I said that, I got kind of excited. I said, okay, I'm smart. I like this.
Right.
And it was a guy, another kid sitting in front of me. He turned around and looked at me. He's old lame nerd,
Right.
So I'm like, so I took the step. I was like, oh, so I realized it's not cool to be smart. So me not having that male guidance let me know that no, listen, it's okay to be smart.
Yes.
I blended in with my crowd, my surroundings.
Yes.
So I became something that I really wasn't. I watered down my intelligence. I pretended to be stupid. I pretended not to know anything. I hung out in the streets and everything.
Wow.
And so at the age of 17, 1997, I got arrested for armed robbery. And I went to jail. I did 2.5 years.
Wow.
But while I was there, I didn't learn anything.
Wow.
I was there with all my friends. We was running around. We was gang banging. The penitentiary of the state was wide open. I literally didn't learn anything. I got my GED. I was in Mount Sterling.
Okay.
I was in Mount Sterling.
Wow.
And like I said, we just having fun, smoking weed and everything. I was getting in trouble still. And so when I got out the second time, I stayed only 6 months. I called myself. I tried to do the right thing, and so to speak. I was going to Lincoln Tech to fix on cars, but I didn't have a job, so I needed money. So it was a guy that I was going to school with. He was 20 years older than me. He was 40. I was 20 years old. And I told him my story, and he's like, oh, I was arrested too. And I tell people, I take responsibility for my actions. Can't nobody tell me to do anything. I take full responsibility for my actions. I did what I did.
Right.
So, but he knew I was young and impressionable. He took advantage of my youth. And he basically had used my strength, my wit and everything. And so we just did a lot of different things, a lot of different things. And so I got arrested again 6 months after me being released.
Wow.
But this time it was different. It was different. So when I was in the police station, and I got one phone call, called my mother. And I heard my sister in the background, because whenever I called my mother, it was a call ID back then. She knew exactly what was going on. And she said, Sam, what did I do to you? And she started to cry. My sister's in the background crying. And I just gave the phone back to Officer and hung. I couldn't take it. So that right there was the major turning point in my life. I was like, well, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I knew for a fact I was going to jail for a long time. I knew that. So, and I was going back and forth to court for days. They literally let me sleep. They did torture me. I like to say that they gave me sleeping pills.
Really?
Yes, they did. They put it in the can. I didn't know I was thirsty, and the can of pop was open, so I drunk it. And like 20 minutes later, I just couldn't control my sleep. I was just sleeping.
You mean to tell me the police department? You went to the police department.
The police department, yes.
And they gave you sleeping pills.
They put sleeping pills in my pop.
Wow, that's interesting.
To keep me, so I was going to sleep. Every time they came in and used to hit me and wake me up.
Wow.
Wake me up. To tell what's going on. I was just nodding off. I couldn't take it. So I was going to different courts and everything. I had cases everywhere. And so when I went and stood before the judge, like I said, my mother, she basically wrote me off. All my so-called friends, girlfriends, I was just alone. Wow. And so I went and stood before the judge. I had a public defender, and the judge told me, Mr. Cravens, I'm gonna try to give you natural life. You're the habitual criminal.
Wow.
And I was just shocked. I was like,
wow.
Like natural life. So I was like, well, I said, I'm not doing natural life. So I started contemplating suicide.
Wow.
I started contemplating suicide. So by me knowing the Cook County system, I knew that, okay, well, if I go to Division 11, they have tiers. I can
No, what is tiers?
Tiers, like it's 2 levels.
Okay.
So you have a downstairs, you have an upstairs.
Okay.
So I said, well, if I go to Division 11, I can wrap the sheet around my neck,
wow.
tie it. I was thinking,
wow.
and tie it around the banister and just run and jump off.
Wow.
They didn't send me to Division 11, they sent me to Division 10. It was 1 level.
Wow, that was God.
That was God. So the second, I said, well, wow. Next time I go to court, I'm just gonna grab the officer's gun. They just got to kill me. I'm not doing natural life.
Wow.
So next time I went to court, they had me shackled like this. I couldn't move my hands. And then I was like, why y'all got me shackled? Well, you going, they tried to send me to Wisconsin. I was like, I never even been in Wisconsin. They had literally had me shackled like this.
Wow.
I was like, I said, well, I can't do that now. So the third,
it's like they knew.
They knew. It's like they knew. I'm like, how they know? I'm thinking this in my mind. How did they know?
Right.
Like I said, it was God. My third escape was, I said, well, my rappy, he's older and he has heart pills. I knew that from me reading and being smart, I knew that if I took a bunch of those heart pills, it would stop my heart and I'd be dead.
Wow.
So I said, okay, the next time I go, I'm just gonna take his pills. They split us up. We won't go to court no more.
Wow.
So now I'm sitting. I'm like,
wow.
I was like, man, I said, I cannot believe this. I said, I can't even kill myself. I cannot believe this. So I'm sitting in the day room, and I used to sit in the day room, rock back and forth, and literally pull my hair out.
Wow.
But I didn't have nobody in my corner, nobody to call. I was like, well, I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do from here. So it was a guy named Johnny. He came up to me. He said, hey, what's going on? What's going on, Sam? I looked at him. I said, what's up, man? He said, man, why don't you? Hey, you have Bible study on the deck. He said, why don't you come to Bible study? I said, man, I'm not coming to Bible study, man. What's wrong with you? I said, nah, man, I ain't got time for that. And he looked at me. He said, brother, it's never too late. And that really rung in my head because that was something I was always telling myself in my mind. It's too late. It's too late. I never told nobody else that. So for him to say that,
you were so young.
I was 20 years old.
Wow.
I was 20. I literally grew up in jail.
Wow.
So fast forward. So I started going to Bible study. I started just changing my life and everything, just praying. And I prayed that night. I mean, I went to say I prayed. I said, God, I need help. I said, I don't know if you're real. I don't know if you deal with me, but I need help. He said, I heard a voice say, I said, I got you. The next day, I called my mother. She sent me a phone call. I talked to her. I apologized. She said, okay, I'm going to help you. She got me a lawyer. Paid lawyer came in. He corrected everything. He said, no, they can't give you natural life because they put a case on that you didn't do. So they took care of that and everything. That was so. Eventually,
do you mind telling us why you went to jail? Like
armed robbery. Okay. I had a string of armed
robberies.
robberies.
Get you natural life for armed robbery?
I had a string of armed robberies.
Wow.
String.
And they knew it was you.
They knew it was me.
Right.
But they tried to close open cases. They was putting cases on that I never did.
Oh, wow.
So it was so many. They tried to give me at least about 20 armed robbery cases.
Wow.
And I was on parole for armed robbery.
Right.
And then my juvenile record, they trying to bring that in, but that's what they tried to give me natural life. I had carjacks in my juvenile record.
Right.
And so the lawyer came and said, no, that's juvenile. You can't bring that into adult. So that's how they corrected that. And so they eventually gave me 20 years. And the judge, he stood before me and said, Mr. Craven, I'm gonna give you 20 years. He said, because you did what you did, and I believe that this be enough time so you can sit down and think about it and get your life together. You know, he said, but if I see you again, he said, you'll never see the light of day.
Wow.
I said, you will have no problem. I mean, judge, your honor.
Whatever.
20 years.
Right.
I said, I do that. So I spent 10 years in penitentiary. I did all my 20s in the penitentiary. And while I was there, this started to change. As I started going to school, I started praying more. I started to just realize I do have time. I realized it is okay to be smart. Yeah. It is okay to know things. Yeah. It is okay to be you. Yeah. And that's something that I didn't understand in high school. And I know a lot of people felt the same way. They water down their intelligence just to fit in. You know what I'm saying? I know that was my era. I know this era is probably something different. Yeah. But my era...
It's still the same.
It's still the same?
It's still the same.
You know, I find myself trying to tell my daughter that, and I tell my daughter because I notice how when I be teaching how to go over homework, I said, Zara, her name is Azaria. And I said, you know this. We went over this. Why you pretend like you don't know it? And I had to tell her, I said, Zara, it's okay to be smart. Mm-hmm. I said, it's okay to be smart. It's okay to be you. I said, you're beautiful. Don't let nobody tell you you're not. Yes. There's nothing wrong with your skin. It's okay to be smart. Yes. Be you. Yes. And flourish in it. Flourish in it. I said, don't make the same mistake your daddy did. Mm-hmm. You know, so right now, my clothing line. So my clothing line came...
Wait, before we get into the clothing line, I want to ask you another question.
Sure, go ahead.
Because you hit a lot of topics, mm-hmm. you know, just on a daily basis what people just go through every day. Mm-hmm. You know, even like in the era that we live in right now, you talked about when you first went to jail, you was 17 years old, you know, and you also talked about how when you was a kid, how you was smart and you answered questions that nobody else could even think of, because, you know, what was that, Idaho?
North Dakota.
North Dakota. You know, North Dakota is places that people really don't even recognize or really talk about. And also, you know, just being in school. So can I just take you back there for a minute?
Sure.
Okay, so I look at the era that we live in today, and I look at how a lot of kids, you know, going through different things, and some kids is smart, some kids is not, but the thing is how the school system is in America. Mm-hmm. And I look at that, and I just look at the fact how a lot of kids is walking around with low self-esteem, and they are afraid to just be themselves because they got the other kids on the other end telling them, you know, if you say this or say that, you know, you a nerd, you a lame, and you too smart for me, or, you know what I'm saying, just to pull your confidence down. But it's like how you tried to fit in with the wrong crowd because you was on a much different level than them. Mm-hmm. And you tried to fit in by trying to act like them. And that's what the kids do today. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cycle that keeps going on and on and on. How do you think we can break that cycle with our kids? Because you talk about your daughter, how she's you went over her, you know, homework with her several times, and it's like that thing in the back of her head, you know, maybe she going through something in school. Maybe the kids doing her the same way you was being done. Because I know my son go through that as well. Mm-hmm. You know, if he don't want to be too smart. He don't want to, you know, do this or do that because he feel like, well, I'm going to be a lame. You know, so it's like the same cycle that must be broken in our lives and in our kids' lives and in the generation that we live in to come. So how do you think we can break that curse, that generational curse from off our kids?
I think, as you said, that first thing came to mind is like exposure. If we expose them to different things, I like to say, like, I tell my daughter, expand your palate, explore different things. She said, Dad, this is nasty. I said, you don't know it's nasty until you try it. Right. So for me growing up, if I would have had exposure, not saying my mother did a bad job, my mother did an excellent job. She did an excellent job. Right. But if I was exposed to a black man that was in college, or a black man that wasn't playing sport, was a rapper, he was doing good, he was a businessman, he's an entrepreneur. If I was exposed, I said, wow, there is something more than what I'm seeing. Because the only thing I saw was my environment. Yeah. Everybody's game banging, everybody's selling drugs. Only the drug dealers had to have the girls, had the cars. Mm-hmm. I said, I want the girls, I want the cars. Right. And to me, that's all. If that's what I saw, that's what I need to attain. That was my goal. You know, not knowing that you can still, not saying have the girls, but you could have money, you could have financial freedom, you could have that, and you don't have to sell drugs to get it. You know, you don't have to steal, you don't have to rob to get it. You can go to school. It's okay to be smart. So I believe that if I had that exposure, if I was taken around different venues, You know, like some my mother tried. Oh, she did. I remember she tried to get me involved. It was called the United States Customs Youth Agency. So basically, it was like a Boy Scout, but for United States Customs. And she took me there, and I was actually interested. You know, I go there every Saturday, go on trips and everything, meet different people. But because a friend of mine, who I was hanging out with, couldn't go, and I was afraid to detach myself, I turned down the opportunity. And my mother, monkey, my mother's like, "Are you serious?" And her husband, my stepfather, he said, "Sam, I will give you money right now." They was going. I talk about this, I was so embarrassed. They was going to Great America. It was a Saturday. My mother woke me up and said, "Sam, I'm gonna take you to the bus stop. Please, just go." I said, "No, I don't want to go. My friend can go. I don't want to go." And she was like, "It's not for him. It's for you." Right. I said, "But I don't want to leave him." She said, "But it's for you. This is you. This is your future." And my stepfather came in and said, "I would give you how much money you want. I would give you money." I said, "No, I'm okay. I'm sorry. I don't want to go." And as I think about that, that was my avenue. But because I was so, how can I put it, want to please everybody, I didn't want to be walking around with the whole uniform on. Right. Oh, look at this old police. Oh, you the police now? I didn't want that stigma attached to me. I wanted to stay in the street. Not knowing that was my outlet. That could have been my avenue. That could be my way to be exposed to different things. But I was afraid to do it. But like I said, it's just exposure and telling kids it's okay to be smart. People are going to talk about you no matter what. You can be smart, you can be stupid, you can be pretty. Yeah. People are going to find something to talk about you about.
Something to talk about.
At least make it true. Yeah. If you're going to talk about it, you're going to talk about it for being true. Yes, I am smart. Yes, my skin is bronzed. You know. Yes, I do love to read books. Yeah. Yes, I do know. There's nothing wrong. That's knowledge. Right. Because eventually, you're going to work for me. Eventually, you're going to work for me.
Now, I just now your friend that you was attached to, that was your homie, that was your, you know what I'm saying, your buddy. And it's like, as we grow up and get older, we would like, you don't even see that person no more.
Nope.
Don't have no contact with this person. We doing all this. We missing out on our childhood life because we trying to, like you said, trying to please people.
Yes.
And that's what we get messed up at.
Yes.
Trying to be a people's pleaser. Instead of just, like you said, doing your own thing and being on the right path. Like, if you was on the right path, like, you would have been doing, maybe you probably could have been a doctor.
Yes. Or
a lawyer, because you was just smart. It was just installing you. You was a smart young man. Yes. So if you would have stayed on the right path, you know, I don't tell what you would have been. But the thing is that what I love about God is how even though your past, you know, you may didn't go the right path from your past, but you still was like, you know what? Even when you got out of jail, you're like, you know what? I got to do greater than I got to do more. I want more. And look what you did. You created your own clothing line.
Yes.
A lot of people come out with like T-shirts. They just put their logos on there, but you have actually an actual outfit where your clothes it looks so expensive.
Yes.
You know, and it's really nice, and the brand is nice. The material feels really, really good. And you came out with a hoodie with satin up in there for the ladies' hair.
Yes.
You the first person I know that did that.
Okay.
You know, so that's a blessing. And that lets you know right there that you still got it. You still got the intelligence. You still smart. You know what I'm saying? You still doing your thing. But don't let your past stop you. Keep on going forward. You know, keep on moving forward and keep on being a blessing to the youth. You know, and there's another thing to me also that kind of hit me what you said. Now, when it comes to the system as far as with the police department, and you know, we've been seeing on social media all types of stuff with the police doing, you know, corrupt things, and not saying that all police is like that, because a lot of police is not, you know, corrupt, but you do have some bad seeds out there. And I look at the fact how you was saying that, you know, in the midst of it, how they gave you sleeping pills, not knowing that, you know, you could have been allergic to it.
Right.
They didn't even know, but they just gave it to you. And it's messed up how the system is. But they're denied.
Yes.
Of course they will. But you know the truth.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, your experience just being in there, just let the kids know. Somebody got to hear your testimony. Somebody got to hear your pain. You know, how you said you was in depression. You was rocking back and forth. You know, you was nervous. I mean, everything was just closing in on you. You know, how did you come out of that place of just being stuck?
God, that's all I can say. It is God. Like, I went from wanting to hurt myself, kill myself, to basically wanting to live. And I always remember the brother. I wish I could find his brother Johnny, because he was the only one that really talked to me. Nobody else talked to me. He's the only one that came and said, "Hey, brother, why don't you come to the Bible study?" I was reluctant at first because I'm like, Bible study, man, I'm not. My thing was, I'm not about to use God no get out of jail free card. I did what I did. It is what it is. Whatever I got to come, I'm gonna have to accept it. I'm not about to sit here and be a Christian just so I can get out of jail. I'm not gonna do that.
Right, you weren't even rocking with God at that
I wasn't rocking with God at that time. But I was raised in church. My
Right.
mother, she's in church. She's a praying woman.
Right.
You know, that's why I say I'm still alive for today.
Right.
And so when I started reading the Bible and everything, I started to just pray, and I said, you know what, I can make it. You know, I can make it. There is something salvageable about me. I'm not just gonna throw my life away. I'm not gonna throw myself away.
Right.
And so basically, God has gave me the strength just to endure. You know, I've known a lot of people that I was incarcerated with that got out and couldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that I got out with that were with me, probably going to church and everything, are successful. Like, I know a lot of people that I still do right now are very successful. Pastor Zilza Trotter, he's a pastor out in Boulder, brother, beautiful brother, successful brother. Tyrone Crowder, the list goes on. These are brothers I attached myself to while I was there.
Oh, so they was in jail as well.
Oh yes.
Wow.
I have a list of people that I was in jail with, incarcerated, that gotten out, and business owners. They run a non-profit organization, pastors.
Because it make you sit down and you have to give you a chance to think and clear your mind.
Exactly.
You say, you know, I don't want to do that no more.
I don't want to do it no more. You know, I don't want to game anymore. I don't want to do that no more. So I sat down and I used writing as my catharsis. I didn't know I love writing. I did not realize that.
It came out of you.
It just came out.
Right?
It came out. I was writing, and I wrote movies. I wrote plays. I wrote poems.
Wow.
I wrote books. All while I was incarcerated. I used to grab my paper, sit down, and just start writing. What was on my mind to start writing? Even to this day, if something comes to mind, I wake up and now I just take my phone and jot down some notes real fast.
Right.
You know, so it's just writing is my catharsis. That's how I release because I didn't really have anybody to talk to.
Wow.
So I just use that just to get off my chest, so it'll be on my mind and everything. So yeah.
Wow. So how do you think? What do you think that? Now I know you came. You know, you've been through a lot in your life. It's like by me sitting here, just like, oh my God, I want to cry. Like, oh my God, like, because it just hurt me to see, you know, our people just being at the place where we're not where we're supposed to. We're supposed to be in a higher place, but it's like the system of this world has really put us in a bad place.
Yes.
And you know what I'm saying? I love to see the fact that you overcame that.
Mm-hmm.
And you woke up, and you are still waking up. We all still waking up because we all was stuck in a system somewhere in our lives. You know, somebody may didn't do what you did, but they probably did something else. You know what I'm saying? So they had to sit down and think for a minute. They out of that situation. They like, you know what? I can do great things. I wish I can go back and just change some things in my childhood life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind being a lame in school, you know, because that lame being in school would have took you further and further, you know? So it's like, it's just so much that broken down the Black community and broken down our families. You know, I don't know what year you was born or whatever, but I know, like, I'm an 80s baby, so it's like, I love the 80s, you know. But it's like, you know, coming up, I remember looking at the movies from back in the 70s and the 60s and stuff, and how Black families used to be.
Yes.
You know, they was, you know, just had that connection, and, you know, and it's something how when everything, you know, when the government and, you know, different ones was seeing how the Black family was just rising up on so many different levels. It was one movie called, I think it was Claudia, how she was a mother, she had all these kids, and the kid, one son went to gangbang, and one daughter was liking boys, so it's like she was trying to function her household, and they show how, you know, how the public aid people come in the house and just check your house and see if it's a man living there. If a man living there, you get cut off. You know, it's just something how the system just snuck in on us and split up the homes, split up the families, because they know we're great people.
Yes.
You know, and we are very smart people. You know, and they know that, and it's like, it just saddens me just to see that, you know, you made it, but somebody else didn't make it. Somebody else is still in prison being depressed. You know, and I look at the whole prison system now, how even with the water system, you know, in prison, the water system basically everywhere, how it's just so contaminated, and it's just messing up our membranes. It's just messing up so much that, you know, we can't even really function the way we're supposed to function. And so, with your testimony, it just made me want to just cry. I'm like, wow, like, wow, you went through that, you started, at such a young age with the peer pressure and stuff, so wow, I'm just sitting here just observing everything and just like, wow, you came through from that.
Yes.
And so tell us about your clothing line.
Okay, clothing line, like this, it's called Enticing. It's spelled Ntyxing. It's phonetic.
Now that right there was just unique on
Yeah.
so many different levels. Okay.
I was actually, because I had another business venue where I was doing a online boutique during the pandemic, and I was selling women's clothes. Like I said, I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I'm blessed and fortunate that God's given me the career I have, but I just love entrepreneurship. I love taking something from the bottom and building it up.
Right.
So I had a clothing brand. It was it's an online boutique for women, but because I'm a guy, I really don't know women's clothes. It didn't succeed. So I said, well, I think I can try designing clothes. I said, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I said, but hey, I'm gonna try it. So I started doing the research and everything. I started YouTube. I got Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop. I taught myself how to do that. I just based YouTube and
Adobe is hard. But that's
it is.
Good.
I'm
That's
still
good.
learning. I was watching YouTube and practicing and everything, and so I said, okay, I could do this. What really moved me to do it was because, like I said, I'm an 80s baby. I'm 43 years old.
Same age.
Yeah. Bam.
When your birthday?
February 21st.
February 23rd.
What?
Damn. What in the world?
Pisces, what?
Pisces in the
Yeah.
house.
And me and my daughter has the same birthday.
What?
She's born on
Damn.
my birthday. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pisces. That's
Pisces.
that Pisces
That's
energy.
yes,
okay.
it is. Yes, it is.
And you know what? And it's so funny that you said that you design clothes because I design shoes. I have my own shoe line. So.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. And so I was and so like because I'm 43, but I don't look like the average 43. I realize it. Not trying to toot my horn, but I don't like the average 43-year-old. So I said I like to stay fat. I like to stay trendy. I like Jordans.
Right.
I love shoes. That is my.
Don't you hate when people tell you, even though you're in your 40s, you can't wear Jordans?
Exactly. I'm like,
what's up with that?
they tell me all the time, like, but my mother, she tried to tell me that. But
Right.
I understand my mother, but how she
Okay,
was
we look
saying.
over mom.
Yeah,
okay.
I look over mom.
But, everybody else.
Everybody else.
Tell us how we supposed to
Supposed to
dress.
dress.
You know what
I'm
I'm saying? Okay,
like, they tell me, why you gonna dress? I'm not dressing, I'm dressing the way I like.
I hear it all the time.
What I like.
Right.
So one day I went to a store.
Comfortable.
I live comfortable. I like to be
Right.
fashion. I don't want to dress. I don't want to wear the long alligator. Nothing wrong with it. That's
It's
just
just
my
not
feet
your
hurt.
style.
It hurt my
Right.
feet. So so I don't like
I
to wear
get you.
those.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. That's that Pisces.
That's a Pisces thing. I like I like to I like Alexander Wang suits. I like to go and get a suit tailored. That's what I like. So yeah. That's I like fashion. So I was like, you know what? So I figured there's nothing for me that meets in the middle. It's like either I can get something that's too young, where it's loud and all these loud colors with animated graphics on it, which I was like, nah, it's a little bit too young. Or I can stay with the linen suits or whatever. I was like, nah, I need something in the middle.
Right.
So I was shopping. I couldn't find anything. I said, well, I like the fitted pants, but I don't want them too tight.
Right.
But I don't want them too baggy because that's So I said, you know what? I said, I think I could design myself. I think I could design some clothes. And so I sat down. I said, well, I need to come with a name. And so I wanted to come with a name that was bold, that catch people's attention, that's somewhat kind of controversial, so people could talk about it. And so I was gonna call it Enticing, just spelled Enticing. And a friend of mine, she was like, "Nah, you can't just spell it like that. You gotta make people work for it." That's what you mean. I said, that's just it's too easy. Make them work for it. So I sat down one night. It was a pandemic. I had nothing else to do. I sat down. So I'm just writing down stuff right now stuff. So I say, you know what? Enticing. I'm just gonna spell it how it sound. And so I came up with it, Ntyxing. And so I looked at it. I say, you know what? That's it. That's it. That's it. And I went.
Damn.
Yep, that's it.
Because I know when I first met you, and I was like, what did I say? He was like,
Yeah.
say it the way it's spelled. I'm like, entice. He was like, entice. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's really unique, really, really different. Really
Yeah.
different. So, wow, I'm just, we Pisces up in the building,
Pisces,
know.
we representing.
I know, representing hard up in
Yes.
here. So, wow, I'm just really shocked. And we the same age, birthday.
Same birthday, a couple days after each other.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
wow, what a coincidence.
Yes.
Wow, that's what's up. Now, you know, now going back until, because I just love talking about different things like that. So I know, man, you both, we 80s babies and all that good stuff.
80s baby represent.
So what part of Chicago you come from?
East side.
East side, okay.
East side. I went to Hyde Park High School, born and raised over east, as long as I can remember. My mother be on the east side. Right now I reside in the hundreds. God has blessed me to buy a house.
Wow.
4 years after I was released.
What?
Congratulations. I was out 4 years, and I got studied credit. I said, okay, I got to get my credit together.
Wow.
So I made sure.
So you came out, you was like, listen, everything you say you was going to do, you did.
Oh, yeah, I had a plan.
Right, because some people be in jail, when they get out, they don't do or stick to the plan.
Mm-hmm.
They, you know, go back to their old ways, but you stuck to the plan.
I had no choice, because to me, going back to jail was failure. And I told myself, I wrote it down. Before I wrote it down, I kept it on a piece of paper underneath the bunk. And failure is not an option. And coming back to jail to me meant failure.
Wow. And
I told myself failure is not an option. If I had to create my own, if I had to start my own business, if I have to work a minimum wage job, I had the job working the cleaners. Wow. I made enough just to pay the insurance on the car and my cell phone bill. That's it. I had nothing else left over. But I said I'm gonna work this job into something else, but I'm keep on working out my process. Because failure, I'm not going back to jail. Failure is not an option.
I know that's right. Now tell us, like, for all of the ones out there that don't know, the ones that's out there trying to, you know, do what you're doing, because now, even though you went to jail for theft, but even like right now, it's real big right now.
Mm-hmm.
People, you know, especially with the little kids, they're out here robbing people for cars and stuff, taking people's cars. So just tell them how your life in prison, just being in that little bitty box, how was it just being in that space that you had, that little bitty space that you had? For the kids out there that really don't know,
it's the most is I still have nightmares sometimes.
Wow.
You know, I still have nightmares. I have anxiety attacks. I was watching the movie How They See Us, what they did with the in New York, with the kids in New York.
And I actually remember when that happened. I remember it was on the news.
Yes, I remember it too. And then when I saw it, I had a panic attack. I think I was driving the car with my sister. I was driving the car and had my daughter in the car. I called my sister because I couldn't breathe. And my sister, she had to talk to me now. She said, I have no idea. I can't breathe. I can't see.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on. And I thought about it because when the guy, he was mentally challenged, when he was in that cell and he was locked up in his cell, I remember that. I remember being in that cell. I remember only thing I got is my thoughts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, of course you might have a TV or something like that, but after a while, you know, when the lights go off, it's just you. And time is just going by. And the only thing you got is your memories of what used to be.
Wow.
And and especially for those ones who don't have contact with their families, whose family have disowned them. So now you're really in a place where you're alone. And a lot of times we think that, okay, you know, you're doing these things, don't realize that if you do go to jail, how many people are going to be there in your corner? You know, you might have your mother, you might have some family members, but even how many people? Depending on how you were out here.
Right.
If you was out here just taking advantage of people and disrespecting people, and now you're in a position where you need somebody to help, how many people are willing to overlook that and help you?
Wow.
So you got to realize that, like, yeah, right now you may be living a life, whatever, robbing, stealing, but karma's going to have a day, and it's going to come back, and you can't choose how karma is going to come back on you. You know, you definitely can't choose. You know, you might be blessed and fortunate enough to go to jail and sit down, get your life together, and come out and be a better person. God forbid if you get killed in the process, because you never know. So while our kids are doing these things, you gotta realize that it's a balance. You can't just come and just doing bad to people and not have to pay. You're gonna have to pay somehow, some way, because that's called karma. Either way, when you do good, it's a payment behind it. When you do bad, it's a payment behind it. You reap what you sow.
That's true.
If you're sowing carnage, if you're sowing destruction, if you're sowing theft, you're going to reap that. And you can't control how it's going to come about. You may think you got away with it, but next thing you know, your kids might be suffering. Anything. Like, I don't want to wish bad on anybody, but you got to realize that it's you gonna reap what you sow. I'm a living testimony. I reaped what I sowed. I was robbing, I was stealing, and I went to jail.
Wow.
And I went to jail for a long time. I lost all my 20s.
Man.
The latter part of my teenage year, I didn't go on my prom.
Wow.
My sisters grew up without me. You know, like when I was locked up, when I was out, they were kids. When I got out, they was grown with kids.
That was weird.
And that was weird. I said, they was like, this is your niece. I'm like, wow. And I was before I got locked up, y'all was little girls,
Right.
and they grown now.
Wow.
So a whole chunk of my life was spent behind jail. When I got out, it was just like a shot. So much has changed. A lot has changed. You know,
Wow.
and like I said, I've been there with people who didn't have family, and they, you know, just depressed and don't know what to do, and they just, you know, just stressed out because nobody's in that corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish it on nobody. So to be in a place like that, just be in a small box, and basically all you have is yourself and your thoughts.
Mm. Wow.
You know, so it's not a place you want to be. Trust me, it's not.
Wow.
It is jail. Is you don't want to go to jail, especially Cook County. You don't want to go there.
Well, because you know, just looking at you know, different movies and stuff, and the movies and the videos and stuff, they make it look real interesting, like they out here playing cards and living their life in prison. So, you know, the kids now, they put that image in their mind. They say, okay,
Right.
I don't mind going to jail because they kick it, they play this, they do this, they playing spades all day, and they walking around it. But it's really not like that.
It's not like that. It's not like that because I don't know what kind was there, but I'm pretty sure like during the pandemic, I'm pretty sure they was in the cell incarcerated. Because anything something like that, they're gonna lock you in the cell until they can figure out what's going on. Because the pandemic shut down the whole world.
Yeah.
The whole world was shut down. So I'm pretty sure they shut down the penitentiary system. And just imagine, what if you were sick?
Mm.
The medical assistance in the penitentiary is not good.
Wow.
You can die in jail for something that probably could have been resolved out here with ease because they don't care. They don't care. They use experimental drugs on you. You know,
in prison?
Yes, like if they have like a okay, I had asthma, and so I was going to get an asthma pump. You know, I feel like every 3 months they gave me an asthma pump, but I know the asthma kept changing. I'm like, what is it? Oh, it's new asthma pump. So I'm like, why do it keep on changing? It's not the one I'm used to. You know, luckily I didn't use it often because I was working out and I was exercising. My lungs got stronger, and so really after a while I didn't really need it anymore. But they kept changing it. And so I'm thinking, I was thinking to myself, I bet any kind of money, this is experiment. Because why wouldn't they experiment on people in jail that don't care about?
Right.
You know, so, and I was thinking about all the other medications that they probably experimenting with people in penitentiary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and who's gonna come to your defense? Who's gonna believe you?
Wow.
Because to the world, you just scum of the earth.
Wow.
You know, so.
Wow. I just think of so many people that's in jail that, you know, that's in they innocent. Some people have not done anything, and just I look at one guy, I think he just got out maybe like a month ago or maybe 2 weeks. It was something like that. And he was in jail for 30-something years, you know, for a crime that he never committed. And I just see so many, I know you saw it. I know you saw so many people up in there that, you know, that was good people that didn't do no crimes and had to spend their whole life in jail. And then, 30 years later, oops, we just reviewed this. You didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
You just took away somebody your whole life. You know, their mom passed away. You know what I'm saying? Never had a chance to even have kids because they've been there since they was little. So it just really, really, really hurts my heart to see that our community is going down the way it is, you know, today. I thank God that you came. I thank God that your mom is still living, that you can still enjoy your mom, you know, and your sisters and your nieces and nephews and stuff. And, you know, but it just saddens me just to see that, you know, when our people commit a crime, and not saying that, you know, that they should, but nobody shouldn't commit anything.
Right.
But the thing is that they put hard times on you.
Yes.
And then, you know, when a person that's non-melanin, you know, commit a crime, they get less time.
Less time.
And I think that's wrong because in the prisons, it's filled with melanin people.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, you're exactly right. My first time offense, they gave me 6 years, but they could have given me boot camp.
Right.
But they didn't.
Right, because you still was considered a minor.
I was a minor. I was 17.
Right.
But they gave me 6 years, and I was wondering how come I couldn't get boot camp. This is my first offense.
Wow.
Well, nah, because you did this. I'm like, well, and just so happened, I'm not making this up. It was a white guy in the same cell with me, and I think he had a theft. He had an armed robbery, something like that. I think it was a theft. But they gave him boot camp. So I'm like, and we the same age. Why he get boot camp and I gotta go to jail?
Right.
You know, so I was like, well, it's just a system. But like I said, I take responsibility for what I did. I'm not gonna say it's that well, the system oppressed me. The system has its flaws, but a lot of flaws. But I subjected myself to the system by committing crimes.
Right.
So I can't say
You fell for the okie doke.
I fell for the okie doke.
Yeah.
So yes, the system has flaws, a lot of flaws. They're corrupt, but I put myself in a position to be subjected to the system when I didn't have to.
I think it's, especially, growing up, in our communities, and, because sometimes we don't have as much activities going on like other communities might have. And then when you go to our community, you got to pay all this amount of money. But coming up in the 80s, early 90s, I think they start charging. Because I know, like, when I was growing up, a lot of things was free.
Mm-hmm.
So it did keep a lot of kids off the street. But as time went on, parents had to pay for this stuff. A lot of parents couldn't afford to pay for it. So now, they come out with the video games and stuff and Grand Theft Auto, and, kids are playing this stuff. They're like, well, I want to live the real life of Grand Theft Auto. And sometimes, even now, there's really nothing for the kids to do. No. You know what I'm saying? Instead of when we was coming up, we had I know me, Austin Town Home, we had the YMCA, we had the Boys and Girls Club, they had things that we could do to stay off the street.
Right.
As of now, there really isn't nothing. But the stuff that they do have, a lot of parents can't afford it because it's like $400 or $200 a month.
Yes.
So it's like the system is just so messed up on so many different levels. And even now, since the pandemic, everything has shot up to, you can go to the store and buy, 4 things, and that's like $100-something. You look like...
Yes, I just went a couple days ago. I was like, how? I just got one bag.
Right, one bag, that's $100-something. You like, wait a minute. The taxes going up, everything is going up. That's why the kids go out into the street. They want to rob because mama don't really got enough food up in the refrigerator for us to eat. They looking like mama ain't really got, no car. Some kids grow up, their parents get them a car, but some kids grow up, they don't get that. I want to go and rob this person and drive around joyride around their car. And, not saying it's right, it's wrong on so many different levels, but it's just the lack of activities that we have in our communities. That's why it's time for Black people, for melanin people to rise up and start building our communities.
Yes.
I was looking at a video this morning in Detroit, and I took my hat off to Detroit. They out there doing their thing. They out there protecting their communities. Like, if they find out there's a crime going on, instead of calling the police, you're going to call this new era people that's going to come in and they're going to protect your community.
Okay.
And they come up in there full force. Like,
they
ain't playing. So if there's somebody kidnapped going on, they go out and they look for the kids.
Okay.
They're not waiting on the police to come in and do nothing. They building up their own community. That's why I took my hat off to these brothers, because they out there doing their thing.
Yes.
With your testimony, what would you tell the kids of today? What would you tell them to get off the street and do better?
I tell them to a lot of kids have talent they don't know that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Hidden talents.
Yes.
I tell my nieces this all the time. Like, my nieces, they like to do the Instagram and stuff like that. And I was like, do you know you get paid for that? Mm-hmm. They looked at how. I'm like, that right there, that's content you're creating. Mm-hmm. Even though you're young, you could start creating your portfolio. Mm-hmm. So I would tell the kids, like, to basically, before you go out there and try to get it the easy way, well, not the easy way, the fast way, the quick way, rob and steal. Yeah. Just sit back and think, like, okay, if I do this, what gonna be the repercussions behind that? Mm-hmm. I might get away with it. Yeah, you might get away with it. But then you might want to do it again. Mm-hmm. What's gonna happen the second time? So I tend to be thinkers. I tell my nieces to be a thinker. Just sit back before you do something. Just think. Just go through the whole process of think. Don't just react. Just think about it. And as far as like the different programs, these kids these days are different. Like, when we was growing up, we was outside. We was riding bikes. We was double dutch. We was
hopscotch.
I was climbing trees.
Me too.
I was outside. I told my niece, I said, I'll get up on Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning. I ain't coming back until the lights come on.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
The street lights come on, you better be in front of the house.
I'm back. My bike, we get on our bikes, we ride.
Yeah,
but
these days, everywhere. Oh my God.
Everywhere. Oh, I used to ride to the lake from me, my friend.
Oh my God. Just have fun.
Have fun. But it's different. Nowadays, I wouldn't let my daughter ride around down there because the times is different. So now we're kind of sheltering our kids more, and then with technology. So I believe that it's like not so much like we had to like change with the time, but we have to realize we have to accommodate with technology. So as opposed like, okay, yeah, you might have like certain programs where it's like you have like basketball,
Right.
but also why don't you teach social media, how to create their own social media content, teach them how to be marketers.
Yeah.
Teach them how to start their own e-commerce business. AI is big right now. Teach them how to do AI. Teach them how to do Adobe Illustrator. Teach them how to edit video. Teach them something that they're already doing for
Something's
free.
gonna be complicated, but keep them in there and say, you know, I can figure this out. It's right there.
Exactly.
It's gonna keep them busy. It's gonna mess with their minds a little bit.
Exactly.
So, I agree with you.
So I think that you may have more programs that's tuned to technology,
Yeah.
because technology is growing, and then we like the next generation. We don't want them to be left behind,
No.
because the technology grows. Who's gonna be the one learning it?
Exactly.
The palm color people. You know, I hate to say it,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna be employees, or we're gonna be out of a job, because now the automation is basically trying to take over.
Yeah.
So now it's like what used to be a job for like our teenagers is now been taken by robots. So why not teach our kids, okay, well, flipping burgers may have been cool for when you were 16, 17, or 15, a nice job while you're in high school, but now it's gone. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna teach you how to program it.
Yes. That's why I told my son to go to school for computers, because I'm like,
Exactly.
technology is gonna be the thing.
Yep.
All this other stuff that they got, don't go for business. It's nothing wrong with going for that, but make sure you shoot at the learn how to work computers and stuff, and computer programming and different things like that, because that right there is going to be the new era right there.
Yes.
Because like you said, it's taking over.
It's taking over.
They got robots as people, you know,
Yes.
with people face. You couldn't even tell the difference.
Couldn't tell the difference.
You know, so it's time. It's most definitely time for a change. It's time for our kids to really look at things different, because they are our future. You know, once we gone, they step in.
Exactly.
You know, who gonna be our next president? You know, our kids have to be on a total different level, instead of, you know, out here just doing all type of crazy stuff. It's time for a change to be made in our community, and it's time for us to live like we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live off the fruits of the land.
Yep.
We're not doing that. You know, we eating food that we don't even know we eating.
Don't know what they're putting in it.
Don't know nothing. You know, I know somebody that worked in a food plant, and they was saying when the food gets shipped from all these different countries, and by the time it comes to America, they was saying that it have mold and it be rotten. They just wash it off and ship it to them. You know what I'm saying? So we eating junk. We eating, you know, we don't know what it's coming from different countries.
Exactly.
So we really don't know what we're really eating.
Exactly.
You
we
know.
don't.
So my thing is that we have to really get to the place in our life where we have to make changes and go back to the roots of the nature, where we're supposed to actually connect with the earth.
Exactly.
And it's time for change. That's what God wants us to be. God wants us to connect back to the earth like we supposed to.
Exactly.
I remember growing up, we always saw apple trees and in our yards.
My
and
grandma,
you
she
don't
had a
even see
garden.
it no more.
Nope.
They had the berry trees and stuff. You go and sneak in your neighbor's yard and steal an apple or something.
Yep.
You know, but you don't see stuff like that anymore. What happens to all that?
They cut them down because now they got to build more infrastructure. They want to build more buildings, more houses, things like that. So
And put up fake trees.
put up fake trees. so yeah. But I do get the earth. Yeah, 'cause I remember my grandma. She had a garden. Oh, she loved her garden. And my mother, we used to go over there and help her. You know, kind of like, you know, I deal with it. I didn't really know much about it, but she loved her garden.
Right.
And when and my mother used to get lots of food from her, greens, green beans, tomatoes. My mother wasn't going to the store. She was going to my mother's house, to the garden.
But that's what they
and getting
did
the
back
food.
then. My mother had that too. We had a garden. My mother grew greens and stuff, and you know that's what we had back then. I had a cousin. They had like a big old berry tree.
Yep.
You know, we go over there and get the berries off the tree and put sugar on it and wash. You know, I just miss those days where everything was just it was better.
Yes.
What we live in right now is everything is just it's different.
Yes,
it's different for the culture.
Yes.
It's different for the culture. Now, I know you got your clothing line, and this is one of your sweaters that you are wearing.
Yes.
Hoodies, and people, we love hoodies. The kids these days, they wear hoodies in the
summertime. My niece wear hoodies.
Man, it be 100 degrees
you're not
out.
hot.
Right, you're not sweaty, right? Like but that's what they wear.
Yeah.
So I want people to say, if you have like a demonstration, you can show the camera. I know you got one on you fronting one right now.
Yes. Yes.
So is the material of this? Can I get one too so I can put it on this camera? And I want to explain the material because when I first touched it, when was that? Saturday. I was like, this is really awesome. The fabric is very different.
This is actually yours.
Thank you.
That's a satin line hoodie right there.
Wow, this is really nice.
Yes.
This is nice.
Yes.
So, look, y'all, this is really, really different. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Now, this right here is the hoodie. and it have satin in it for the women. I'm telling y'all, this is awesome. I'm most definitely gonna front this on my social media page. This is really, really nice. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And if you can stand up and stuff, let people see.
Yes.
Now with this, y'all, as you know, if I touch it,
Sure, go ahead. Sure.
the material of this
Yes.
is really, really nice. It's not like your regular cotton. I don't know, this cotton,
It's 100% French terry cotton.
right? It feels different.
Yes.
Like the cotton and everything feels very expensive. And I'm looking now. Do that one have the
Yes. The emboss in the hood.
Wow,
Yes.
look at this, y'all.
Yep.
Oh my
You see
God.
it?
Oh my God. Wow. What made you come up with this? Like, that is awesome.
I was sitting back thinking, and I was looking at different type of hoodies, and me, I like to like just experiment. I said, well, why do I always have to put a logo on the front? I was like, what else can I put a logo in if somebody's not doing? I said, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna say maybe I could put it on the hood. And so as I was going through my vendor list, and that's why I came across the 3D emboss. And I started looking up, I said, 3D emboss, I said, I can do that. And so I told her, I said, hey, can you put my logo on the hood like this? They, yeah, we can do that. And so it cost a lot, but they did it, and it turned out, it turned out really good.
That is really nice. It kind of remind me of when the boxes and stuff, how they put the hoodie on,
Yes.
and they got the logos and stuff right there.
Yeah.
Like, that is really unique. That's really nice. I really do love your style. That's really, really nice. Now, how much are you selling? Because you got the whole jumper set. You got the hoodie, you got the hat, you got the sweatpants. So tell them with everything, how much would that whole set be?
Well, this is just a hoodie. So this hoodie right now, I think is on the website. I think it's 20% off. You go there, I think it's like $70. I think like $70 right now. This hoodie is $70.
Okay.
I have a zip up. The zip I call it my signature collection. It's a zip up jogging set. You got the top and the bottom, and it comes with a free beanie. And it comes with a free carrying bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, do you have your carrying bag?
Yes, I do have the carrying bag. I actually brought the carrying bag with me for your hoodie. This is the carrying bag that is
Wow.
with the signature collection comes in. That's yours.
Y'all, oh my God, y'all got to check this out, y'all. It comes with a bag.
Yes.
I'm sorry to put this in your face.
Okay.
A hoodie
Yes.
with a bag.
Yes.
You cannot go wrong with that. Oh my God, this is really, I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you.
Thank you.
Pisces,
Pisces doing it.
I'm so proud of you. Wow, this is really, really nice. Y'all got to go and check this out.
Yeah.
Now, tell them how could they get in contact with you. Give them like your website information, everything.
Website is www.enticing. That's NTYXING.com. You can follow me on all social media at enticing NTYXING. You can inbox me on Instagram, Facebook. You can send me an email at sam@enticing.com. I respond back.
Can you do respond back?
I do respond.
Some people don't.
Yeah, I respond
You do
back.
respond back.
And like I was this young brother that he said he wanted me to be his mentor. I was kind of like, I like mentor. I like, what you mean mentor? He's like, man, because me, I don't consider myself as like, I'm not making millions of dollars and everything, like, you know.
That's okay.
You know.
We know, you know what? People get caught up into this whole thing of, well, you got to have money. It's like nowadays people don't care about that anymore. We
Right.
just all trying to live. We all going through something in
Mhm.
life. So it's like when people come up to you and say stuff like that, take that as an honor, because too many people, there's not too many mentors out here.
Okay.
You know, you got the Puff Daddies and the
Yeah.
Jay-Z's and all that. Okay, they got their name, but we talking about somebody from our city, our land, that's doing their thing. That's an honor.
Okay.
So you are a mentor. You my
Yeah.
mentor. Oh my God. You know, I'm really am excited about this because you got out of prison after serving all these years, in and out all your life,
Mm-hmm.
and you got on the right track. You said no more.